Good afternoon. I'm going to share some information that I found quite interesting that I received from my physiotherapist Dexter, who explained to me in such great detail about the physiology of the discs and why I had a herniated disc L5S1 about 5 years ago, and then this recent L4, L5, and how to prevent it from happening again. Basically, he went on to explain about the discs and how, of course, you have your spine with your vertebrae, and in between each vertebrae you have a disc. And he talked about a car and how a tire is 32 pounds per square inch, but if you overinflate your tire, it'll blow. A disc is designed to take about 17 pounds per square inch, but it can take up to 200 to 300, and then it goes. So what happens is most of our movement is forward bending. So unless you're an athlete or an acrobat, you're not doing a lot of back bends. So you're actually bending forward onto your disc and pressing into the disc hundreds of times a day without even thinking about it, leaning over to wash the dishes, making a bed, stirring a pot, multiple times a day, you're bending forward. And when you're bending forward, your body is designed, theoretically, that your bend is taken, 50% of the bend is done by your hips, and then the rest is done by your back. What he did for me, which no one had ever explained or done, was he asked me to bend forward, backward, side to side, and he put a little measure on my back while I was doing it, little size of a little square plastic device that was actually measuring the range of my motion. So you're supposed to have 50% coming from your hips, the rest from your back. Well, he said to me, guess how much your bend is? And I said, 10%. He said, 5% of the bend is coming from my hips, and the rest, 95, is coming from my back. And the reason the L5S1 went years ago and the L4, L5 went just recently is because I'm putting so much torque at that space in my spine that my back is taking all the weight. So what he explained is, because I have very tight hamstrings, what's supposed to happen is your hamstrings are supposed to allow your hips to bend forward, but I have very tight hamstrings and my hamstrings don't allow that. So I know that when I'm doing yoga, when I'm sitting on the floor and they say put your head to your knees, there is no way I can do that. I have very limited range of motion. So then he went on to explain that what I have to do, if I continue moving the way I'm moving today, it's going to happen again. And that's why it happened, because of the lack of range of motion in my hips. So he said, what you need to do is to bend when you lean forward. So bend when you're washing the dishes, bend when you're making the bed. Or he said the other thing you can do is just go up on one leg. So keep one leg straight and just lift the other leg off the floor. So when you're putting something in the dishwasher, go over on one leg, and now your hips are the lever, and then your back follows. So I thought this was really interesting, and I wanted to share it with everyone. And I thought the easiest way to do it is to do a little video. So I hope you enjoyed it. And to me, it was like life-changing. So I'm going to be bending a lot more, and I'm going to be thinking a lot more about the fact that I am bending hundreds of times a day without even realizing it, and putting that pressure onto that disc, and that's why it went the way it went. Okay, thanks, bye.